How's it going, everyone? My name is Kevin. Welcome back to my journey with disc golf, and this is my 2020 in the bag. This year I'm working with a brand new bag, or cart rather. I got this during the holiday 2019 season, and this cart will not only help me transport more what I need for the disc golf game, but also what I need to help make these videos. Starting at the top here, I actually have a phone mount that was released by UDisc. This phone mount allows me to do a couple things. The obvious one is to mount my phone so I can easily keep scores, but you will actually be seeing most of my rounds through a phone that's about this height. This phone mount is actually how I'm going to be filming most of my rounds. Moving down the bag here, I also have this matching putter pouch. This pouch is really nice and for me because not only does it hold my putters, but also holds a notebook that I have been using to film these rounds and help keep things organized. Little pieces of flair on my bag also include the Team Trilogy Players Tag, my Bronco Stadium VIP Pass from last year's stadium experience, and a little tag from Hand-Eye Supply stating that I am an official member. Moving down the side of the cart here, I also have a number of different water bottles off the sides. In my pouches, I usually have a number of different snacks throughout the round. Inside the cart itself, this is a Soldier cooler bag, which is kind of nice because on each side, where disc would normally be held, I'm actually holding a number of different video editing equipment stuff, extra batteries and cords and that kind of thing, and a number of different towels all stuffed in. In this center pocket, I can easily hold my lunch because it is an insulated cooler bag. Moving down to the cart itself, I want to say thank you to Skunk River Customs. They helped me fabricate these custom fenders and the Soldier cooler bag rack as well. Before we get into the discs that I'll be throwing this year, I actually want to talk about my PDGA number and where I'm standing as a rated player going into this 2020 season. As you can see, I'm currently rated 847. I have 19 career events over my 2 years of having a PDGA player number. I'm already signed up for a number of events in the spring 2020 season, and although it says I have 3 career wins, I really only consider myself having 1. Within the last 2 years of having a PDGA player number, my PDGA player rating has taken a consistent climb. A year ago, I was rated 805, and at the best point of last year, I was rated 850. But now I'm currently rated 847, and I'm curious to see where I could be rated come December 2020. So starting off with the putters that I will be using this year, they are my Classic Blend Wardens. The Warden is the first putter I actually felt confident with a number of years ago, and I've stuck with it ever since. The Classic Blend plastic is just soft enough to feel good in my hands, and I always try to keep 2 of them in my bags. That way I could just cycle through them and they last a little bit longer. These specific Wardens actually have the Wonderland Brewing Company logo on them, and I designed these discs myself as a brewer for Wonderland Brewing Company. I also like to throw my Warden. I have a Chasing the Chains hybrid Warden here. This hybrid plastic is a little bit less grippy than the putting plastics I use. That way when I'm throwing it, it kind of just feels like it releases from the hand a little bit better. I also have super soft Warden that I really only use on upshots that I want to stick. Going on to my mid-ranges. My understable mid-range is the Evidence. It's the blue mid-ranges you'll see me throw. I usually have an overstable version and an understable version of all the discs that I throw. And the Evidence is great because for my arm speed, it actually flies pretty straight and then just dies off a little bit at the end. My go-to mid-range is the EMAC Truth. Again, I have an overstable version in Lucid plastic and a slightly understable version in a beat-in Fusion plastic. My overstable mid-range of choice is the Verdict. These will be the maroon or wine colored disc you see me throw. I like throwing these ones because that overstability actually gives me a consistent range. I like throwing the Evidence, the EMAC Truth, and the Verdict mostly because they all feel very similar in my hand and I don't have to think too much about my grip. My understable fairway driver is the Witness. The Witness is a speed 8 and a turn of -3 disc. These will be the red disc you see me throw mostly backhand on any given tournament. The next disc I like throwing is brand new to my bag as of late last year. It's the Vandal. This has replaced the Escape in my bag since last year. The Vandal I love throwing on with a forehand, and it's understable enough where I can get to go pretty straight or even turn over a little bit to the left as you've seen in other videos. These are the yellow fairway drivers you'll be seeing me throw. Moving up are my Getaways. My Getaways is pretty much my go-to fairway driver. I have a Biofusion one that's a little bit more understable. I have a custom dyed Lucid Getaway, and I have a brand new Lucid X Getaway that I'll be using more this season for something that I just need to have die quickly. Now, one disc you'll see me use a lot in the wind, or even if I have to do some sort of technical shot, is the Felon. I have a Lucid tie-dye Felon, and I have a Fusion Felon with Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze's signature. In my opinion, I have developed my fairway driver game to be the most versatile, utilizing 4 different discs that have 4 different flight patterns. Now, my drivers are only 2 of the molds that I hold, and you'll see me throw them a lot off the tee, not because they go further, but because of how that disc feels in my hand. Again, I just have to think about it less. So the yellow drivers you'll see me throw are my Renegades. This is my understable driver. I have the Lucid Air Batman one. I have a Lucid Renegade, a Biofusion Renegade, just depending on how I'm feeling. The other drivers I use are my Trespasses. I carry 3 of these. I carry a Biofusion one. This Biofusion one can actually turn over a little bit and get some pretty good distance. The more consistent one is my Lucid Trespass. This Lucid Sparkle Trespass is a little bit more consistent, and it has that Wonderland Hoptail Bunny stamp on it. And if I need something to die off quickly, or maybe I'm throwing it downhill or into the wind, I reach for my Lucid X Trespass that I've actually dyed the rim just so I can find it a little bit easier. So the theory behind the 2 drivers that I hold in my bag isn't necessarily to try to get more distance with my tee shots, but to try to get more accurate with my tee shots. So that's it for my 2020 in the bag. I hope that helped you get a better understanding on who I am and what I will be throwing. Keep your eyes out in the future videos for what color disc I'm throwing, and hopefully you'll get to better understand what disc that is that I'm throwing on any given shot. I hope to see a lot of you out there at a number of different disc golf events and tournaments. If you'd like to be a part of one of my videos, just let me know, and hopefully you could be a part of my journey with disc golf.